Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Toy Amigos YouTube channel. This is Cheney180. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts One Piece Roronoa Zoro. Really excited for this as I was for Luffy. We're going to have to go over some things. There's a couple issues with this guy. But let's take a look at, the figure overall here. Everything looks very nice. I like the way that they sculpted his hair here. Looks great. The design, looks like Zoro. It looks a lot like Zoro. The big fists like they do from the anime and the manga. Everything looks really, really good here. But there's more to this guy. So let's go ahead and check out the accessories. Alright, so Zoro comes with a decent amount of accessories here. Obviously, he's going to come with his 3 swords, which we can see here. Look very nice. I don't recall the names of these, so you'll have to forgive me. I like One Piece, but not enough to remember the names of his swords. But he comes with 2 gripping hands, 3 different swords. So you can see there, I like how they went with the silver paint there to kind of give it that shine in the light. And then his 3rd sword here, and he's got the little indent in the handle there so that you can clip it into his mouth like that. So that looks cool. And we get, the second head here. Unfortunately, you can't pull face plates out of this. Like, this head comes just like this. So, there's no way to swap the expression with his bandana head on. But we do get a couple expressions here. So we get this cool smiling one, which I like a lot. This is probably my favorite one out of them all. We get this yelling one, which is great. And then we get this, nervous screaming one here, which is also cool. And included in this, we get nervous screaming Luffy face. So that's cool too. So he also comes with 2 fists. And then he comes with 2 open hands. He also comes with his swords in the sheath here. And the handles along here, which are also removable. So you can pop those out and have the swords be unsheathed, which is really cool. And last but not least, you get this swap out piece here for his arm. So obviously he's going to untie that, put his bandana on his head, so that won't be there if, and we're going to swap that out. So that is pretty cool. Comes with a decent amount of accessories for SH Figuarts, so I do dig that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the articulation here. We've got some issues here. You've got a hinge here in the arms. Let's start with the head, actually. So the head is on a barbell joint here, but you get movement also at the bottom of the neck. And that allows him to look up about that much, look down that much. Some pivot. You can get him to, move around pretty well. You do get some clashing here with the bottom of the hair into the back of the neck, but you can kind of finagle that around there. Now we've got a butterfly joint, but it's a vertical one. So it goes up and down instead of back and forward. You can kind of see there. The arm has got, so there's like a hinge ball joint in here. There's a ball that pops into here into a hinge that connects down into here. But unfortunately, there's not enough clearance here. So sometimes you got to dip that in, and then this happens. The arm pops off immediately because there's no clearance. So you got to try and finagle that back in there. All right, so we got it back in there. And it does pop off very easily. But it goes all the way around this way. You get a bicep swivel. You get a double hinge elbow that gets you about that much. You get a swivel and a hinge at the wrist there, which look great. So you can get him with some cool sword poses, back and forth, however you want. There's torso articulation here, and then a ball joint here at the waist, so that you can get back that far. Oh, this is another issue. As I said, there's going to be plenty of issues here, and probably forward about this far. That's about as much as you're going to get. You do get a swivel here for his sash, which is cool. Now the legs here, they've got a decent amount of articulation, but unfortunately this part of his jacket or skirt piece is pretty thick. It doesn't give much. So and that's what happens. So we have a exploding Zoro here, as you can see. And so you want to pop that back together there. So yeah, you only get about that much, maybe that much. You know, there's not much movement. He's got like a cone prohibiting his movement there. And you could push it and get a little bit more, but it's really just kind of fighting you the whole time. So getting Zoro in those awesome, sword stances is going to be a little bit complicated because you've got some restrictions here at the shoulders and here at the hips as well. But let's go ahead and pop this off so I can show what articulation is down here. So you got all this articulation. Thigh swivel, single hinge knee comes up very nice. Got a boot cut there, got a hinge and a pivot. We've got the beautiful toe hinge there, all this stuff. And none of this is usable because of that skirt piece, because you can kind of pop this here and see what's going on there. You got great articulation. So however though, I think I'm gonna mod mine. I'm gonna make some changes here and see if we can improve this articulation, which should not be something that you have to do. But first, let's get into some comparisons. So here we have the SH Figuarts Luffy and then the old SH Figuarts Nami. I don't know what happened to my original Luffy from the old SH Figuarts line, but I had Nami, Sanji, and Luffy. So I don't know what happened to the other two. I just can't seem to locate them. I don't know where they're at. But here's kind of a comparison of where we are. Then we have the variable action Mega House One Piece figures, and we've got Zoro from the time skip and Zoro pre-time skip here. I really like these. It's just the scale. It's too big. And I do think that they nailed the likeness a lot more with the new SH Figuarts. All right, so apparently I had ordered two and I had forgotten about it. So we've got one stock version here and then one modded version over here. And I'll show you guys which mods I made to help the articulation of the figure, the movement, and everything. Once again, I want to state this is not something you should have to do getting a figure. This figure honestly should have moved just great without me having to make any of these changes. One other thing I want to shout out, Public Enema on Instagram. He did some of the hip mods down here. We both did a lot of the same mods without even speaking to each other, but go give him a follow, check out his videos, and his Instagram video on the mods as well. But let's go ahead and break this down. So what I had done here is I kind of dremeled back in this little spot of the shoulder so that you can pop that in and get that arm to move around a lot cleaner. I might drill a little bit more out, but as you can see, you get a lot more movement there than we could before. See, it just pops right out on you, and it's very, very frustrating. And getting it popped back in is a nightmare. Let's go ahead and pop that out, and as you can see, I made some mods there to it, and then it pops back in way easier. Just like that. So that I did that on both sides here to allow a lot more movement. And then also on the skirt pieces, I cut along here and along here so you can see the difference. And it doesn't, you can't really tell, you know, with that that sash on there. So there's two separate pieces here. You can see I cut a little bit of there, so it allows, you know, movement. And lastly, I trimmed along here. Now, in Public Enemy's video, he said you can actually just pop this off. Mine didn't want to pop off, but you could pop that off there. Now, once again, I want to preface this again. This is not anything you should have to do for a figure at this price point. This is fairly unacceptable to have to do this to this figure. But I really like the look of this figure a lot. I really enjoy the design of it, and I just wanted to make it better, man. I really was excited about this One Piece line, and we've got Luffy's knee issues now, and now shoulder and hip issues with Zoro. But let's go ahead and get this guy put back together, and I'm going to show you guys, you know, the movement in the legs and whatnot. All right, so you can get the legs out a lot farther. You can actually get him to kick forward. And it does still kind of pop off if you push it too far, but, you know, you can get him to actually stand in some action poses now, whereas we couldn't do that before. Get him to crouch down and look up now. Ultimately, I would like a soft goods piece for this. I think that would alleviate a lot of issues. But yeah, trying to do this with with this one, yeah, that ain't happening. Yeah, it just pops right out. So yeah. All right, final thoughts on Zoro here. Do I like the figure? Yes. Do I like how the figure looks? Yes. Do I think they did a good job with paint and sculpt? Yes. I think the engineering is very, very lacking on the articulation. There's some problems here for sure. And unless you're able to kind of go in there and fix a couple of those problems like myself, you're going to have a real hard time, you know, trying to pose this guy and get the most out of him. But, you know, if you want to just kind of like throw some swords in his hands and set him up with the rest of the crew as they come out, then that works as well, you know, if that's what you want to do. I think he comes with a great amount of accessories. I think it looks like, you know, especially this head sculpt with this faceplate looks spot on to me. I think they did a killer job on this. But unfortunately, you know, the articulation, I keep going back to that. You know, there's things that need to be done to get this thing to move the way that I want it. I wish that there was a, you know, swap out piece that we could have swapped out for the bandana head. I think that would have been cool. Due to the way that is back there, he can't look up as much with the bandana head on there. But yeah, I mean, overall, I still enjoy it because it's One Piece SH Figuarts. So, I mean, it's great. Do I think that the Mega House ones were better when it comes to articulation? Yes. When it comes to sculpt execution and like the overall design, I think Figuarts has, you know, they're doing a better job at the overall look of it. But definitely the functionality of the Mega House ones is a lot better. I didn't have any of these issues. So, hopefully, you know, Bandai gets this figured out and, you know, we don't have these same issues with Sanji. I mean, we had the whole knee incident with Luffy, so, yeah. But that's about it, guys. I'll go ahead and leave some pictures in here as well for the mod of comparisons of the modded one versus the stock. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Click like, subscribe if you have not already. Check out the podcast, Chat Migos Assemble on Tuesdays. They're Not Dolls on Thursdays. Take it easy, guys.